Welcome to the DCA podcast, where time doesn't work.
Welcome back to the DCA podcast. I've got a special guest with me tonight. We've got the other Jimmy. He's the business director of DCA, and I'll let you do a little introduction of yourself, Jimmy.
What's going on, Jimmy? Yeah, so my name's
Not
Jimmy as
much.
well. I do, I guess, a little bit of everything. Basically, really more than anything, I'm just an intern right now. Uh, help out wherever's needed. Help you guys out with the podcast when needed. Help them out with DCA markets and business relations and networking with other communities and stuff like that. So I'm just here to do whatever needs to be done.
Yeah, and you do a good job of that. So tonight we kind of just wanted to get into a little bit of I guess a little bit about what you do, how you got into crypto, and then just kind of talk about crypto in general. So why don't you tell us how did you get introduced to crypto?
So I actually first got introduced to crypto back in 2017-ish. Actually had a friend of mine at work uh, that almost all day long you'd see him his laptop over in the corner of the room, just messing around with stuff. And I went over to him one day. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he was telling me about how he's. So,
Yeah.
anyways, he was like, "Yeah, I'm trading crypto." So I was like, honestly, I was like, what is crypto? And he was like, man, you don't know about this and that and Bitcoin and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I mean, I've heard about it, but not really. So, like, dude was kind of showing me and he helped me set up a wallet and, this and that. And I remember the very first token, which this is shockingly, I'm surprised that I'm even still here. That was 2017, 9 years later. My very first experience with crypto, I bought this token. I put like 200 bucks in. I don't even remember the name of the token now, but it ended up being a honeypot. And I went to bed. I woke up the next morning and it said like my $200 had turned into like 30, 40 grand, something crazy like that. And I'm trying to cash it out and it won't let me cash it out. And I could not figure out why it would not let me cash it out. And I thought I was doing something wrong or I had something set up wrong. And long story short, come to find out, it was a honeypot. I got robbed for my 200 bucks. So you would think that after that, most people would just quit, but obviously I'm probably not the smartest person on earth, so I kept going. Uh, the first thing that I actually, the first token I think after that I actually bought was Doge, and I actually just bought like a pretty decent lump sum, like a couple $1,000s worth. And I think like a couple months later, I put like another 500 bucks or another $1,000. And then the price of it went up just a little bit and I sold it all. Made a little bit of a profit. I think it was like a little over 2x. But, of course, I think it was like 3 or 4 months later, Elon makes the tweet about Doge. It starts going to the moon. I went and bought some more back as the price was going up. Um, then price started going down a little bit, so I sold it because I was afraid that I was going to lose all my money. So when that whole experience was all said and done, I probably ended up losing money on that. But if I would have held on to it, imagine what that would have been worth today, which kind of teleports us to where we are today. And that's why I got involved with DCA because it really works for me. Um, it's the most proven investment strategy on earth. It's uh, just a smarter way to invest your money. So yeah, that's where we are now, and that's how it all started. So you got to make a lot of mistakes to actually get to a point where you start doing things the right way.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of our one of our missions, I guess you could say, is to try to help people learn from the mistakes that we and others before us have made, so that they don't have to make the same mistakes.
Yep.
Because I I probably started buying crypto for the first time. around the same point as you, around 2017, and I don't remember the exact dollar amount, but I know the first time I bought Bitcoin, it was definitely around like $5,000, maybe a little less. And I actually ended up selling Bitcoin for a loss uh, during the bear market, which is what we're in now. And then I proceeded to watch the next time I checked on Bitcoin. Um, it was like it was something dumb, dude. It was like $60,000 or something like that. And so I made a huge mistake. Obviously, if I had known about DCA way back when, I probably would have been in a different financial situation today. But hey, man, that's okay. That's what life is about. You live and you learn, right?
Yeah, I did the same thing with Bitcoin as well too. I mean, now thankfully I hold a little bit, and I'm smarter now that I know to just keep DCAing into it, especially at these price points. But yeah, I remember probably numerous times that I've sold my Bitcoin for a loss, just out of fear that, oh, I'm going to lose all my money. Yeah, well, if I would have just held on to it, it would have went from 60,000 to 125,000.
Yeah, for sure. So, I guess when you're looking for projects or assets to invest to or invest into, what things are you looking for?
So, what I do now is um, I try not to gamble very much at all. I'm trying to stray away from all of that. Right now, because like you said, we're in a bear market. Um, I'm actually just I look for communities. Communities is number one, the main thing that's important to me when I'm looking for something to buy. Because if it has a strong community, if the token has a strong community behind it, and they're out there bag working and rating and, talking about it and all over TikTok and all over YouTube and everywhere, um, there's a real community backing it. It's not just like a bunch of bots on CT. Another thing is, if it passes that sniff test, then I look to see what the narrative is. Is it something that resonates with me? Is it something that I think can run long term? Because here's the problem with meme coins, in my personal opinion. Very, very rarely, obviously, like Pepe, Doge, there's a handful of them that, have run to billions and billions and, had drawbacks. But, I think what is Pepe still in the billions right now or
Oh yeah,
close
yeah,
to a
it's still in the
billion?
bears. I think it's last time I checked, there's somewhere around like 4 or 5 billion, even in the bear market.
Okay. So, we're talking about a handful of memes. Memes are based off of narratives. And, narratives come and go. Like last year, everything was, oh, 6 7 6 7. And then somebody launched 6 7 coin. That thing had a run. I don't know where it is today, but I guarantee you it's nowhere near its eight all time high. Um, so I try to look for things that I think have long term potential. That's one of the main reasons like I got into DCA because dollar cost averaging, it's a philosophy, it's a strategy. It's something that's been around since the 40s when Benjamin Graham came up with the concept. Um, it's something that's still used today in all forms of investing, whether it's crypto, stocks, whatever. Um, and it's something that's going to be used 50 years from today. So, to me, that's why that really resonates with me. There's a couple other ones too, but yeah, basically, I just look to see if there's a real community backing it. I just look to see if it's a narrative that can run one or more than one cycle, because I've bought into a lot of these meme coins in the past. I won't say the names of them, but there was one that I was actually pretty involved with pretty heavily. Uh, that I bought all the way up to like $350 million, $360 million, and that thing's sitting under like 10 million now, and it just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. I think it's like a 95% pullback, and you know now I don't really see the community around very much. Um, the meme isn't popular like it was, a year and a half, 2 years ago. So, in my personal opinion, Not that there's anything wrong with the token or who's running it or anything like that. It's just that narrative is done now. So that's why when I try to find things, I try to find things that I believe can run more than one cycle. Like another one I know that you're pretty heavily invested into, unstable coin. That's something that is a narrative that can go more than one cycle. That's something that can run cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle, just like dollar cost averaging. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff I look for. Those types of communities and those types of projects.
Yeah, so we've I guess on the podcast previously we I know Load the Bags has done some interviews with people from meme coin projects. We haven't ever really fully covered kind of like what a meme coin is, which you did a really good intro to it for people who may not know. But we're all about intelligent investing here at DCA. And a lot of the times, a bear market like this and an economy like the one that we're in, people will kind of look for like a lottery ticket, so to
Hmm.
speak, to make a large sum of money from a small sum of money. And so that's how a lot of people find meme coins, is they look at it as like a lottery ticket. But I think you made a good point about the odds that whatever meme coin you're buying into is going to go to billions is such a small number that it really is like a lottery ticket. So something that I would encourage our viewers to do is not invest like a huge sum of money into meme coins. That if you do take part in it, that it is kind of like a lottery ticket. Of course there's things like community that you can make your decision based on, and all of that, and social relevance, but you shouldn't go throwing like your life savings into a meme coin. So I just kind of wanted to make that distinction, and I think you also shared that same sentiment.
No, absolutely. And the other thing with meme coins too is, I mean, even as of years ago, even just a short time ago, 2, 3 years ago, meme coins would launch. Communities would rally behind them. There was actually something behind them. And now I think I read an article the other day that 109,000 meme coins uh, get uh, get launched. I think it's like every week on Pump Fund. Out of that 109,000 tokens, I think they said only like 30,000 of them or something actually bond. And out of that 30,000, not one of them run to $1 million, or run to $1 million and continue to keep going. They end up just getting rugged. So the biggest problem, in my opinion, right now with meme coins is that every day people are just launching new ones based off of like nonsense or you know uh, hype or something in the news or something like that. And like you said, people look at it as a lottery ticket, like, oh, I could put $20 into this and it's going to turn into $1 million. But in reality, uh, there's a 99.9% chance that not only is that not going to happen, but you're actually going to lose your money. So
Yeah, that
I try
that
to tell
20 could
people,
become 5.
yeah, yeah, 100%. If that, I try to tell people all the time, like, stay out of it. Stay out of. I call it the casino. Stay out of the meme coin casino. If you want to invest in meme coins, like I said, try to find projects that are battle tested. Ones that have been around for more than one cycle, ones that have had multiple runs, ones, I'll give you another example. Let's take Giga for example, right? Um, Giga went to what, a billion, little over a billion.
Yeah, I believe so.
Um, yeah, all the way back down to like, $14 million. But through all of that, their distribution has gotten way stronger. Uh, their holder count has gone up. They're actually doing real things. I mean, like what they got, an energy drink line coming up. They have Giga Fitness, vitamins, stuff like that. Uh, so you know, that's a project that's battle tested, right? So like it's ran multiple cycles. There's a real community behind it, and they're actually doing real things. So like, you want to invest in meme coins, and I'm not telling anybody what to invest their money in, but find stuff like that, because when the bull market comes back, it's these battle tested long term communities will be the only meme coins that are actually going to run. Uh, this crap in the casino. Uh, I, I I don't think most of those don't even last a week, if that. Most of them don't even last 24 hours. So
Yeah, you'd be
if I
lucky.
could give anybody a piece of advice, it'd be stay away from that. And if you go on CT, if you see these big accounts with people with 10,000, 15,000, 100,000, 150,000 followers telling you that this is the latest and greatest best coin and this thing is going to run to billions, stay away from it, because all of that stuff is nonsense. All of it's nonsense. I've come to find out, over the last year, that most of what you see on CT, probably a good 80, 90% of it, is fake. These are fake people, uh, just pushing nonsense. They get paid allocation. They get paid whatever to show people garbage. And the only people that win are the devs and the insiders. Everybody else loses.
Mhm. Yeah, and even in a legitimate meme coin project, uh, a 90% or greater drawdown is almost like a sure thing
Sure.
for a meme coin. Even when I know we talked about like the volatility of Bitcoin from like a bear cycle into a bull cycle and then back down. We looked at how it was like 78 to 80% that it usually drops. Well, meme coins 90%, 95%, 99% is not out of the question. Like that's actually a feature of meme coins. That's something that happens as it's distributed out to more people, and so that's just something to remember, that happens.
And like I said though, yeah, 100% it happens, but it's the ones that where the communities show up and grind even harder,
Mhm.
um, and the project continues to push forward and actually do things, when they're in that 90, 95% drawback, that will do a reversal. Trust me.
Yeah, and actually like market conditions like we're in right now, or I find it easier to pick out those coins and communities, because those influencers and all that you talked about, they've kind of fell to the wayside right now. And but it's important that you're talking about it now, because when the volume and liquidity does return to crypto, those influencers are going to reappear. They're like cockroaches, man. That's the way I think of them.
Yeah.
And it's like anything else, any industry, the fitness industry. If you look at the fitness industry, it's pretty toxic with its influencers and the things that they promote and push, and unhealthy habits that end up that people end up taking on because of those influencers. Well, crypto is no different. It we have influencers that will push bad things. You just need to be aware of what is signal and what is noise, and be able to tune out the noise and pay attention to the things that matter.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And one thing I want to make it abundantly clear is like, if you're going to put money into crypto, like, please put the majority of it into Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. I'll probably rehash that at the end, because that's a very important thing. Don't do like I do. Don't put tens of thousands of dollars into meme coins.
For real. You know,
If you just buy the majors, you'd be much better off.
I'm gonna be straight up with you. The reason that I'm so heavily involved with, DCA, is because I've been screwed over and lost so much money in the past. in
Mhm.
crypto just because I was the person that listened to, this nonsense on, Instagram or TikTok or X, CT, people saying, oh, this is going to go to the moon and, this and that. And I was that person that was like, oh, this is my lottery ticket. I could put $100 in here and I'm going to be a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
I've made so many mistakes. And that's why I wanted to get so heavily involved with this. That's why I doxed. Because I actually want to make this a better space. Um, I want to be able to help people and give them the knowledge and the tools that I didn't have when I came into this space so that they don't make the same stupid decisions that I've made. I want people to win. um, I want people to, invest the right way, invest in the right things, not listening to all of this BS and nonsense that people show you all day, or you know these TikTok influencers that tell you, "Oh, let me show you how to turn one soul into $100,000 in the next 30 days." Yeah, okay, sure, buddy. You still live in your parents' basement, okay? Um, but people fall for that, and my hope is with this whole ecosystem that we're developing, uh, you know, the podcast that you and Jason Load the Bags, I think you guys do a fantastic job um, with DCA markets. An actual place to invest money intelligently without you even having to know how to do it. Like on your own, it does it automatically for you. But my hopes and my goals in this space is that whether it takes a year, 5 years, 10 years, or even 20 years to make this a better space, I want, uh, I want people to see the good stuff. Like, I want people to find the podcast uh, when they're searching for things, not some influencer that's telling you how to turn one soul into $100,000. Um, I want people to invest, like let's say on a platform like DCA Markets, where it's going to, invest your money long term, help you with buying dips, stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going to get into all of that, but basically, I want DCA to be the first thing that people new to crypto see. And I truly believe that um, this project is going to onboard the next probably million plus new people to crypto over time. And in my opinion, um, retail right now is dead. Forget bear markets, forget bull markets, forget all that. Um, I personally can tell you this from people that I actually know that have gotten so wrecked chasing this garbage, these pump and dumps and scams and shit coins, that they don't have the money to invest into anything, into quality stuff like Bitcoin or Sol or, culture coins like actual real meme coins if you want to invest in those that are going to go up over time. They're gone. They don't have the money. Um, so my hopes is that over time we can bring a new retail into crypto and show them how to do it the right way so that they don't make the same mistakes that I made, probably you made, Jimmy, and so many other people.
Yeah, and the way I kind of look at crypto right now, it's the market, the asset class it's in its infancy, really. It's not a very mature asset class, and it's kind of like the Wild West right now.
Yep, 100%.
There's not a lot of regulation. There's not a lot of laws on the books. someone who does something shady, the chances of them being prosecuted are pretty low. I mean, I'm at least speaking for the United
Zero.
States. I don't know about other places, but those things are starting to develop. You know, we have the Clarity Act. You know, you've got the Genius Act for stable coins and all that. And I think as it matures, it'll gain more legitimacy in the eyes of the average person. But that's kind of one of the things that we're talking about in the previous episodes of the podcast that I've done by myself is that yes, it's an emerging market, but those are the chances that you have to make the most money is
Correct.
in an emerging market. So at the point that we've reached consensus and everyone knows what crypto is, everyone knows about the use cases and how it's better than traditional money in certain ways. Once we've reached consensus, it's kind of those big gains are kind of out of the window. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not going to go up anymore after that, but the chance of getting, you know, a 10 times return on your money are probably going to be pretty low at that point.
Yep.
And so that's why we're trying to kind of bring eyes to it. But you do have to be careful. You have to be aware of these scams and everything. So it's really important to do your research and not just buy into something because someone who maybe sounds really excited or is very attractive tells you to buy X coin, you know, because it's gonna do crazy things overnight or whatever. It's very important that you do your own research on those things. So, what are some things that you look for as red flags with a meme coin to say, hey, I'm gonna completely avoid that. I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, sure. So, um, if I a few things. Um, Number one, if a lot of these like really big influencers are talking about it, um, I definitely won't go near it because uh, I'm not going to call out people. I'm not going to say anything else other than I can tell you for 100% sure that a good majority of them um, only push stuff that they get paid to push and then get you to buy it and then they all dump it on you. But that's neither here nor there. But that's one thing. Another thing too is do your research. So, like, let's say, even if it's a project that's been around for a while and you're still thinking about it, go on, there's websites like Deck Screener, right? Go on Deck Screener, look at the bubble maps, you know, check to see if there's, you know, a bunch of bundled wallets, you know, or, you know, if it looks like one big bubble in the middle with like a million arms coming off of it, stay away from it. Obviously, there's always going to be in every single project, you know, some people that have bundled wallets or stuff like that. But look at that because, you know, like I said, there's bundled wallets and then there's ones that are just one massive bubble that, no. Another thing is look to see, I like to go on holder scan to see how long the average holder's been holding. Um, because if I go and I'm researching something and I put in the CA on holder scan and it says that, you know, the top 10 people or the top 100 people have been holding this token for more than 50 days or 60 days or 70 days, um, that's appealing to me because most people in today's world don't hold these tokens for more than 5 minutes. Um, like I said, if you go in there and it says the average holder is holding this token for 3 days, stay away from it. That's a red flag. Um, there's just, you can do so much research before you get into a project um, to make sure that it is something legit. If it's something brand new that just popped up on Deck Screener and, you know, it's shooting these big green candles one at a time, stay away from that because that's definitely going to rug pull you in about 30 minutes. Um, but yeah, like I said, I just try to do my research before I buy into something. Like I told you earlier, I look to see how active the community is. If there's no community behind it, it's a red flag. Stay away from it. I look to see if there's a narrative. If it, like I said, if it's something that can run more than one cycle, um, I try to find out like, who the dev is or who's running the project or if it's a CTO or, whatever. But there's a lot of things that you can do. There's so many sites you can go on. Deck Screener's one of them. Holder Scan's a good one. Do your research and check it out before you just ape into something.
Yeah. And I think just like with the major crypto coins, if you do decide to get into meme coins, you should kind of have the same I guess mindset about that the longer a project has been around, so those projects that you mentioned like Giga or SPX 6900 that have been around for a while, they have distribution, they have structure on the chart, they have a lot of holders, they have a narrative that's been proven, that if you are going to put any kind of decent kind of money into meme coins, that it should be one of those coins.
Sure.
The lower the market cap of the coin, and I'm saying this about our own coin as well, the DCA token. Like, you shouldn't go and throw $50,000 into the DCA token right now.
We don't want you to do that, by the way.
No, because it's the way that meme coins work, and is that there's a liquidity pool. So if you didn't know this, there's a liquidity pool that has, theoretically, it never works out, but when the coin is launched, there's even amounts of the token and whatever it's paired with. So since these coins are on Solana, that's going to be Solana. So as somebody buys the coin, it removes those coins from the liquidity pool and replaces it with Sol. So it makes less of those tokens available. It drives the price up. The opposite happens when someone sells. It places that coin into the liquidity pool and they withdraw Sol from it, causing the price to go down. So if you were to go and throw something like $50,000 into a coin like DCA right now, yeah, sure, the price would go up and skyrocket. But the thing is, you wouldn't be able to, in any foreseeable future time frame, be able to get that money out that you've put in, because it would crash the price of the chart so much. So think about that, the way those liquidity pools work and all that. And if you're going to put a significant amount of money into a meme coin, it should be one of those larger ones that have the liquidity to support that. And the smaller the market cap, the smaller amount of money that you should put in.
And it's funny that you said that, because that's another thing, you want to talk about red flags and stuff like that and people to stray away from. I saw one a couple days ago, or no, it was a couple weeks ago, about this dude posting a pic of how he turned $30,000 or $30 into $300,000. I can't remember what coin it was, and he's got a little screenshot there. Okay, well, number one, I guarantee you that token didn't even have $300,000 of liquidity in the liquidity pool to pull $300,000. So, yeah, and number two, I guarantee you that token didn't have $300,000 worth of liquidity to pull from in the first place. So that's all BS, because the thing is if you did pull $300,000 and there was $300,000 in the liquidity pool, number one, you wouldn't have gotten anywhere near 300,000 because you're selling off in blocks. As you're selling, that price is going down. So out of $300,000, if you're taking everything, you may only maybe leave with 130, 140, if that. So much of this crap that you see about these 100x's and 1000x's and these people talking about how, I turned $30 into $100,000 is, excuse my language, but bullshit.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's all fake money in these charts until that token is in the hundreds of millions to billions market cap, doing millions and millions of dollars a day in volume. Because at that point, you can, at $100 million, there's going to be a thick liquidity pool, especially if the token has listings, with major exchanges, where you could really pull, 100K out of it, and it's not going to hurt the chart. And you would be able to actually get your money. Yes, you're not going to get the full 100K if you pulled it all at one time, but it ain't going to be anywhere near trying to pull, $100,000 out of a token that has $150,000 LP.
Yep.
So the point I'm getting at is like, that's why I tell people all the time, especially with meme coins, other stuff like what you're talking about, Bitcoin, Sol, Ethereum, a lot of these other stable coins, utility tokens. That's different. Like Bitcoin has the deepest liquidity pool on the face of the earth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there, you can take any
Yeah.
amount of money you want from Bitcoin, and there's not going to be a problem. But that's why I say with these meme coins, right? Like, stop looking at them like they're lottery
Hmm.
tickets. Okay, find the good projects. I'll keep reiterating this over and over and over again. Find good projects and DCA into them. Whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, whatever you can afford. Okay. Don't put your rent money. Don't put uh, your car payment money in there thinking you're going to Forex your money, by the end of the week, because you ain't going to be making that car payment. Trust me. Um, do what you can afford. I say this all the time. People spend money frivolously every day on things that they don't need. For instance, right here, I don't need this. Okay. And this ain't good for my health either, by the way. Um, that costs what, $3.99?
Yeah, I think that.
2 for $6,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Okay. Um, People go to Starbucks. Like my wife, I'm not gonna argue with her, but my wife will go to Starbucks, because that's a losing argument, by the way.
Yeah.
My wife will go to Starbucks and spend $15 on two coffees and, like, I don't know, some little teeny tiny scone or something. Okay? Probably more than $15 every
Hmm.
day. For what? Like, I can make better coffee at home for a fraction of the price. Okay? That's frivolously wasting your money. Okay? Take that little bit of money that you waste every day on stupid shit, find tokens that, or, if you want to invest in memes, even if you want to invest in Bitcoin, anything, it doesn't matter. Okay. When you compound it over time, it adds up.
Hmm.
You don't look at it this way, but if you spend $5 a day, uh, 365 days of a year, well, shoot, even if you did it 300 days out of the year, that's $1,500 a year. Okay. So if you were putting that $5 a day into something and letting it grow over time, right? Meme coins, whatever, Bitcoin, whatever you want, doesn't matter. But that money will add up. It doesn't seem like a lot, but over time it does. Um, so yeah, like I said, going back to after I totally went off script here into like some other world talking about Starbucks, um, meme coins. Like, don't put your rent money, don't put your car payment. Take this frivolous money that you waste every day and put $5 in. Put $5 a day, put $1 a day, put $10 a week, $5 a week, whatever it is. Over time, that'll add up. And when the next bull run comes, you'll be shocked. Like those little $5 buys are going to add up when that token was, you were buying it from 10 to 14 million, and now it's at 150 million or 300 million or back to a billion again in a bull run.
Hmm.
Like I can believe that tokens like Giga or SPX, ones that have already ran to billions, will run to billions again. You know what I mean? Um, regardless of how long it is. So, I mean, now is the time to buy into these things, because when those tokens are in the billions, then it's real money. That money, you can pull that money at that point.
So we've talked a lot about meme coins, and I kind of just want to condense things down for our viewers to understand is that if crypto is a volatile asset class, meme coins are going to be much more volatile than even your majors like Bitcoin or Solana. And so don't put any money in that you can't afford to lose. And if you do put money in, don't make it an exorbitant amount of money. This isn't a lottery ticket. That, yes, there are things you can look for as far as community strength and, liquidity and all of that and social relevance, but don't treat meme coins as a lottery ticket. So, Jim, I want to thank you for coming on. It's been an honor to talk to you. I appreciate all the hard work that
No,
you.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, I want to appreciate all the hard work that you put in for DCA, and
No, you as well, man. You as well.
yeah, and I do believe that this ecosystem is going to do well. If you guys haven't, please check out DCA Markets. If you go back, I've done an episode on the flow for that. But the thing about that is, I'm probably going to have to do a different one because the devs have made so many upgrades and updates to the
Oh my goodness.
to the platform.
I don't know if it's already out yet or if it's coming out today, but this latest update is freaking awesome. They changed the UX and everything on it. I mean, it's really, really good. People are really gonna like this.
Yeah. So if you haven't,
And I think the code's coming down in a couple days too. It's gonna be open to the public.
yeah, 2 days, I believe, was the projected date.
Yep.
April 6th, and that'll be a public beta, which means you won't need an access code to get on and try it. And I'm pretty excited about that. And so, further condensing down what we've talked about, don't make the same mistakes that this Jimmy, that Jimmy, and other people before you have made. DCA into crypto, DCA into meme coins, whichever ones that you've chosen, but do it in a smart manner where those emotions won't come in and ruin your plan. So same thing with meme coins. If you know it can go up or down 90% in a few hours time span, well, don't put money that you're going to be worried about when you do it.
All right. Hey man, thanks for having me. Everybody, invest smarter. Don't waste your money. Stay away from the casino. DCA is the way.
Appreciate you coming on, Jimmy.